Hello everyone! Today I am here to do a recent reads video. I haven't done one of these in forever, I feel like, because my reading has just been off my game, but I'm getting back into it. Today I'm going to share with you, I think about 5 or 6, I think it's 5 romance reads that I've read. You guessed it, recently. Tell you what they're all about, what I thought about them, and what I rated them. So the books I'll be talking about today, first up, there's a novella series by Ali Hazelwood. I think it's called the Steminist series, which comprises of 3 novellas in one, so I'll be talking about all 3 of them. Then I have Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey, Love on the Brain, also by Ali Hazelwood, this is a full-length novel, and Would You Rather by Allison Ashley. Timestamps will be down below if you want to hear about one book in particular, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, like I said, the first book I'll be talking about today is a series of novellas by Ali Hazelwood. She released these in the past few months or so. I want to say it started around maybe May. I think there was one in May, one in June, and one in July. So I'm going to very briefly talk about these because they're novellas. They're under 200 pages. 3 novellas that are in this one. The first one is Under One Roof. So I'm going to talk about them in order. So this novella series follows 3 best friends, Mara, Sadie, and Hannah. So the first book in this series will follow a character named Mara, and they're all super smart, hence why this novella series is called the Steminist. They're all working in the STEM field. Ali Hazelwood is known for that. So the first book, we follow a character named Mara who pretty much like inherits this house from her professor that she loved dearly, that she had a really good relationship with. And she gets to the house and she learns that the professor also left the house to one of her nephews or somehow. So they basically have to share the house together. They really do not get along with each other. His name is Liam and he works in an opposing field that she's really not familiar with. And so the whole novella is about, at the beginning, her realizing that she is in love with him, and the novella kind of goes back in time of how they met, how she hated him at first. It's a hate to love novella, and it was super cute. Honestly, for ratings, I gave them all 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed them. This one might be my favorite just because it's got the hate to love trope, which we all know I love. The next novella is Stuck With You, and this one follows the character Sadie, who meets this guy named Eric, who's a really tall Viking guy. And they immediately hit it off, they hook up, and she really feels for him, and then he kind of betrays her with her job, apparently. And then they get stuck in an elevator together where they have to really hash it out. And again, this one was really cute. This one is kind of like a second chance romance, if you will. Again, featuring a super strong heroine, a super smart heroine, and a really awesome guy. Really enjoyed it. And the last one is Below Zero. This one features the character named Hannah, who works for NASA, and she actually gets her grant approved or something like that, and so she's able to go. NASA goes somewhere that's really cold, I think, to test a lot of things out. That's kind of similar to Mars, and so she goes there, and her project, she learns, keeps getting deflected by Ian, who again they kind of had a hookup. She wanted just a hookup, but he was like, I kind of want more, and so it's another kind of second chance romance, hate to love kind of thing, if you will. Like I said, all of them are equally amazing. If you're looking, especially since the summer is winding down, especially since this whole year is kind of winding down, if you will, I'm sure we're all trying to get our Goodreads quota in, understandably so. This is a great series to do so. You can binge them all. I think she released them all in one collection, so you can, I think, buy the whole pack, or you can buy them individually. Either way, if you're just looking for some steamy, this does have some steamy stuff, quick novellas, this is a great series for you. I enjoyed them. I really enjoyed everything that Ali Hazelwood has written. Next up, we have Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey. This is her, I want to say her 4th book. I've read them all. If you want not so steamy, but kind of just sugary sweet romances, kind of cleanish, this is a great author for you, I think. I've said time and time again that my favorite book by hers, I always forget it because I'm just horrible. I have to look it up. Very Sincerely Yours. That's my favorite by hers for sure. It reminded me a lot of You've Got Mail. Just one of my favorite movies. But this one was super cute too. So this one we follow a character named Sandy who lives in this really small town, and she meets a guy named Hank in high school, and they fall in love. They become high school sweethearts. They dream of kind of getting out of the town and doing bigger and better things, and then kind of Sandy gets stuck, if you will, in this small town, and Hank leaves. He becomes to be this really big country star, and years have passed by, and he's now back in town with his son, and he's divorced, and him and Sandy keep running into each other, and maybe they're thinking it's time for them to reconnect in their romance and things like that. But the whole book is just about you know, her being like, am I, you know, ready to be out of this small town? Have I adapted this small town? Am I more than this small town? And it's just kind of a second chance romance. Overall, I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. It was cute, like I said. I just kind of wanted more from it, especially Hank. Hank is a country star, so I was expecting a lot of like him serenading and him talking about his writing process, which we didn't get. I don't know. I just wanted more of it. I mean, there's a guitar on the cover, for goodness sake. I wanted more music. I wanted more of that, honestly. But I did really enjoy his and Sandy's relationship, especially going back in time and seeing how they fell in love in high school was just oh so adorable. So I enjoyed it. Like I said, Kerry Winfrey writes these kind of sugary, sweet, light romances that I really enjoy that put a smile on my face. And they're all kind of usually featured in a small town. So if you're a big fan of small town romances, I would check this one out. Then we have Ali Hazelwood's latest full-length novel, Love on the Brain. This one came out this month and I read it this month and I enjoyed it. So her previous full-length novel was The Love Hypothesis, which was really raved about last year. I really enjoyed it. And this one is kind of her follow-up. It's not part of a series. There's no conjoining characters, if you will, but it all kind of features women in STEM, which is great because I love reading that, but I feel so stupid when I read them because I'm not a science person. I was horrible at science in school. Like, it's a miracle I passed science because you know, I'm more of like kind of a arts and like English and history type, I guess you could say, when it comes to school. And then math and science were like my really big downfalls. But either way, she focuses on women in STEM, which is amazing. So in this book, we follow a character named Bee who gets a job to like kind of work at NASA she's like a neuroscientist, if you will, and there's this helmet and this program called Blink with NASA, and it's something to do in conjunction with Mars. If I'm not explaining it right, I'm not, because I'm not smart. I don't get it. Let me see if I could really like say it. Well, she just offered her dream neuroengineering project. Things going great. She's excited. She's going to be the lead of this Blink program, and then she learns that she is a co-lead, and who is it but none other than Levi. She met him back in like grad school, I believe, and he has made his feelings towards her very known. Like, he loathes her. He can't stand to be in the same room with her. He won't talk to her. So she's like, crap, how am I going to like co-lead like a big NASA like program with this guy that despises me? And so that's what the whole book is about, is you know, them working together, him kind of hating her like she's like his nemesis, kind of things like that. So this whole book, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I did really enjoy it. I will say this book kind of just really as a lot of romance books do, the characters just do not talk. Like, I don't get it. Like, in this book, you know, Bee is very aware that Levi hates her, but she's never confronted him about it. Like, she's never been like, hey, why do you dislike me so much? Instead, she's just like, I'm just gonna, you know, keep working and stuff like that. And he's never like given her a reason of why he dislikes her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are 2 grown adults working for NASA. Let's talk about this. And finally they do. And I'm like, this could have solved so much of the book's like conflict, but it wouldn't be a book without it. So I kind of have a problem with those because I'm just like, just talk, just get it all in the open before you work together. That way it could be started with a fresh, clean slate, but they don't. So that kind of annoyed me. Obviously you can tell from the very beginning how Bee does not understand it. I don't know. That Levi is so clearly in love with her. He's been pining for her for years, but she just can't see it, even though the writing is so clearly on the wall. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, how do you not see this man is so in love with you, obsessed with you? I don't get it. But other than that, it was a cute book. You know, Bee's project kept getting sabotaged. Her, you know, equipment would not come in, emails would go missing, her designs would go missing. So someone's sabotaging her and she can't quite figure it out. Like I said, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was cute. If you want an awesome book that features an awesome woman in STEM that are super smart, I highly recommend any of Ali Hazelwood's books. I did like Love Hypothesis a little bit more. That one features a fake dating trope. I just found you know, I don't know. Which romance did I like more? This one might be more feasible. I did really feel like it was organic. Levi was pining for her for years, and she finally realized. It took way too long for her to realize. But either way, I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Last book I'm going to talk about is Would You Rather by Allison Ashley. I read this one on a whim. This film follows characters Noah and Mia. They have been childhood best friends for forever. Mia needs a kidney transplant pretty much, and she's on the list for it, and she has to get dialysis every week, and she gets an opportunity to go back to school. She gets a scholarship, and she's like, that's amazing, but I can't quit my job because then I'll lose my health insurance, and she really needs that because she goes to dialysis every week. So Noah suggests, hey, why not we just get married just for the health insurance? You know, you can get married, we can get married, nothing has to go on, like no hanky you could just keep your health insurance and go to school, and there you go. And she's like, you know, I am not sure. This again is like the previous book I talked about, where the guy is so clearly in love with the girl and she just can't see it. How she can't see it, I do not know. This guy is marrying you because he's in love with you and he wants to help you. And so that's what the whole book is about, them getting married for health insurance, when clearly you can tell that Noah has been in love with her for forever. I give this one a 3.5 out of 5. Again, it kind of is the same as the last book, where they don't talk about their feelings. You know, especially Mia. Mia in this book is very like, you know, she has to go to dialysis every week. She doesn't want to ever be married, to ever get in a relationship, because she doesn't want to have to depend on anyone. She doesn't want to have to put that pressure of her medical problems on someone else. And I get that, but I don't. Because I think if you love someone, you know, when you get married, their problems become your problems because you love them so much that you do anything for them. And Mia just had a really hard time wrapping her head around that. That's how like kind of love works. She doesn't want to burden anybody with her medical problems, but she needs to learn that it's not a burden, if you get what I'm saying. Also, Noah's dealing with some things. He lost his older brother a while ago, and he's still kind of has a lot of guilt for that. And he's also a rock climber, and he won't go out of the state for some reasons with his brother, and it was okay. I did really enjoy the childhood best friend to lovers aspect, when I kind of wish that it wasn't like Noah been in love with her forever, but maybe they would come to the realization together that, hey, we are really right for each other and we love each other, instead of kind of this pining that's been happening for years that Mia could never see. Why, I don't know. But either way, a 3.5 out of 5. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite romance, but it was a decent one. If you want kind of like a convenient marriage, like fake dating, if you will, it's an okay one. So there you have my thoughts and feelings on those 3 full-length novels and 1 novella series. Either way, I would love to know if you've read any of these, what you thought about them, and your opinions on them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.